VSiN, the sports betting network.
Follow the money.
That's what I always say. You always follow the money.
Yeah.
This is Follow the Money with Mitch Moss and Paulie Howard on VSiN.
Here we go. Welcome in. It is Follow the Money on VSiN, the sports betting network. Mitch Moss, Paulie Howard, live downtown Vegas. Circa Resort and Casino is your spot. Today is going to be a good day. Very solid guests. As always, been a strong week here on the program. Pat Forde out here in Las Vegas for Big Ten Media Days this week, coming up in 30 minutes. College football with him. And Adam Rittenberg will join us in an hour. Same deal there. The great Matt Vasgersian on tonight's Major League Baseball card in 90 minutes. And Scott Sanders has basically been listening or watching VSiN since day one. He just got back from a vacation with his wife in Bora Bora. The reason why he went there, he said that if his cross-sport parlays come in after the NBA Finals, that he was going to take her there. Man of his word, went, popped him for a lot of money. He's also made some really deep survivor runs here at Circa in previous years. So that's going to be a fun conversation coming up with him at that time. How you feeling here on a Friday?
All right. Feel good. Getting close to the start of the NFL season, and it feels good to be a part of the Mariner bandwagon as well. It's hoping they make a move, and they win a game, although it was a high-wire act in the bottom of the ninth. Then we got Wu going today.
Well, okay, so what kind of slice of the bandwagon do you have? Are you just going to root him in for me? I got him.
I'd like to see it.
Okay.
I mean,
Thanks, buddy. I'll take it.
Not a lot of success since the Boone days, if you want to go back, Griffey, whatever. But I just think,
never been in the World Series?
Yeah, I think it'd be great if they made the playoffs. And also you waste this great pitching that you've had the last couple of years. So it's nice that they're the first team to make a move. And if you buy the reports, they think they're number one to try to get Suarez, which if you can get Naylor and Suarez to help out that offense, that's big.
Now, what do you think of that, by the way? So they would do it in two different deals, because a lot of the talk leading into like the deadline before yesterday was, here's the attack. They're going to try to get Naylor and Suarez in the same package, and then it comes down to basically like how they have an unbelievable farm system. Mm-hmm. So how many of those guys do they want to give up for both those players? They did not approach it that way. And as soon as the deal was made yesterday and they acquired Naylor, the reaction, well, for me and I think many others, was, oh, really? Naylor, that's great and all, but why not Suarez? But as soon as it happened, it's like, yeah, even though they got him, they're like the front runners that still go out there and try to at least engage with the Diamondbacks to try to reunite with Gino Suarez. Yeah.
So multiple people are reporting that. So that's great. And I'm not a prospect guy. Farm system, who's got this, who's got that, but that would be, if you get the deal done, that's huge. And again, the Yankees are reported to be right there in the discussion, but if Seattle can get both guys, that's big. And I know the same thing you said yesterday. If you want to be a player here and get this done, don't screw around and mess around with the Angels. So first things first, you get that big win last night. It was also a nice win if you had first five with the 3 spot in the top of the fifth, and now you got Wu going today, so take 3 out of 4 here on the road.
So here's the deal again, and the Yankees acquired Ryan McMahon today. That doesn't really move the needle much for me, although in that ballpark, I guess it could be somewhat decent, and they are desperately in need of help on the hot corner. Other teams are as well. Buster Olney wrote about this today at ESPN.com. Everybody knows at this point it could come down to a bidding war for Suarez, but he points out and basically asked the question, could the Mets go after Suarez? He thinks it would make sense for them. They need help at third base. The Astros are in the market for a third baseman as well. What he was writing basically suggested it would be the next tier below a guy like Suarez or maybe even like McMahon. But we've seen this with Houston before. They don't screw around, and the Mariners are in their own division. I could actually see a scenario here where the Astros tell themselves, well, we don't have to break the bank here or give up the farm to get a guy like Suarez, but what if we go out there and get him, meaning the Mariners don't get him? Yeah. So that could kind of be a big deal as well. And then what are the Cubs going to do? Are they going to remain, will they be stagnant? Will they be active? And the Twins are evidently going to be, we're talking about Duran, Jax, Bader, Castro, Paddock, maybe some others as well. I don't know if Joe Ryan's going to get moved.
Well, the guy who covers the Twins, Suhan, for the local paper, beat writer, made a good point about, look what the Tigers did last year. They moved people at the deadline. They thought they were out of it. They lost games after the deadline, and then the huge ticket that cashed as they rallied to make the playoffs and played unbelievable ball down the stretch. He says Minnesota has the pieces to do that, and he wouldn't sell. He's making the case about, hey, you can do this. Even look what the Tigers' record was after the deadline, and then what happened there. That still a couple games under 500, you could pull that off. So I think he'll be wrong. I think they will trade people, but it's an interesting point that he brought up about what he thinks Minnesota should do. And I think that was an interesting game last night in St. Louis. That I now have the Cardinals 12-1 in Sonny Gray home starts. Darvish was horrible.
Again.
Horrible start by Darvish. Are you going to move Cease? Are you going to add pieces? The Padres score all those runs, and they still lose the game. And they are very popular tonight, by the way, but more on that coming up. But that's, I think the Padres make moves. What does St. Louis do? We know Arizona's. I would love to get Kelly if I'm a team. They need some arms. I think that's another one. So Arizona already makes one move, and there'll probably be 3 other moves behind it.
Yeah, you would like Kelly, as would I. I would like Mitch Keller from the Pirates. I think that guy's having a really nice season. Get some run support there. Might not be that bad. I think we can agree on this. I really don't want Zach Gallen.
I don't want.
It pains me to say that because we loved the guy for like 3 years, but at this point, I think you can't really give up much for him, if anything at all. But I think this week, Paulie, is such a big deciding factor here for the Padres' future, like this year and beyond. Because how active are they going to be? You're talking about moving Cease. We've had that conversation this week on the show. What are they going to get if they move Cease? Because you can't go to war with Darvish right now.
Yeah.
Maybe it's going to take him. I'll get it, right? People are going to say, Mitch, he just got back from the injury. He's only made like 3 starts on the year. Yeah, it's been a struggle, but give him a little bit of time. What if he's shot? What if he's completely shot at this point? Because the guy's, 40 years old? And you tie that in with Cease, who I don't trust for a second. I don't know if you can take the Padres seriously with 2 of those guys in the rotation.
Yeah, fair.
They have to bank on both those guys basically turning it around and Michael King coming back to be healthy.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I'll tell you, and I'm not going to say it's panic time, but it's definitely cause for concern in Detroit if you make a move. This is ridiculous. You've lost 11-12, and they got their asses kicked again, and they can't hit.
Cruising along yesterday, and then, wait a second, Blue Jays very flammable with the offense. They just erupted there in those middle innings and took care of business yet again.
That's right. This is ugly, what's going on. They've been outscored 77-29 during this stretch.
Right, and what do they have, 7 or 8 runs scored since the All-Star break?
Yeah. No one's hitting. And the big question mark about who do you trust behind Skubal, oh boy. I mean, this is, they got to do something. Because, I mean, how things have changed here in the span of 2 weeks, where it's okay, 1 seed, lock it up, no problem. They're going, now it's like you got to add some pieces. Maybe you have to trade those prospects now.
Well,
because this is nuts. They are. Forget about losing the games. They're not competing at all.
No.
They just got destroyed against. Remember, the Pirates got swept at home by the White Sox, and then Detroit comes in and Pittsburgh takes them out behind the woodshed, 3 in a row, and they couldn't hit against Pittsburgh.
Well, here's I think how would you answer this question, Paulie? What if right now on the screen, odds at DraftKings, they're 1,100 to win their division. So you have to put down $1,100 to win 100. That's how big they are of a favorite.
Yeah, they're 8 up now, but it's been cut in half.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It was 15 games. It's down to 8.
Where would they be at in terms of looking at the deadline and their chances this year if the Guardians didn't fall on their faces?
Yeah.
Right, and had that 10-game losing streak.
Yeah,
or if the lead was like 2.5 games right now in the division. Would they have made a move already? Would they be like, oh, boy, it's squeaky bum time here. We got to do something because the Guardians are right on our tail? Or same thing with the Royals. They had a couple of injuries, obviously, and if they could have hit this year. I'm playing the what-if game, but I also think, you can't – I'm saying that because they can't feel comfortable just because they have a huge lead in their division and not make a move. You got to do something here.
Yep. The other one, like that guy has that great exacta that we showed on Pizza Bets with Milwaukee, Toronto. Would you do anything? What would you? I mean, everything's working right now. Toronto's won 17 of 21, and for the first time in history, Milwaukee, they're playing right now. They're trying to win a stretch of 37 of 50.
Yeah. No, I'd wait till the playoffs.
I mean, everything they're doing is working. Mm-hmm. And they're playing in sensational baseball. So now it's like, well, feel good about the chemistry, feel good about the clubhouse, feel great about how we're playing. Everything's working. Maybe don't do anything, don't touch anything.
Right.
I could see that too.
Yeah, by the way, you brought up a key word there that bettors don't take into consideration. Doesn't mean anything to them. I think it should. The Brewers are talking about it now, how their friendships across the team are so big. They love each other. They love playing with each other. And they love hanging out when they're not in the dugout and the games are not going on. That, to me, can be a big thing. Doesn't mean they're going to win the World Series. No, but doesn't mean that they can win 95 games, this division, and be an absolute player in the National League, of course. And by watching the Blue Jays, you can tell the same exact thing. This young core, they've been together for a long time, and they're loving life right now. So that can be a massive thing when you're playing every single day for 6+ months, and you're not the Rockies, and you hate waking up and getting out of bed every single morning. You told me something before the show started. I had no idea.
They just showed it.
The reason why the Brewers are starting this game right now on a Friday, it's the 25th anniversary of Miller Park, or whatever they call it now.
Can you believe it?
Oh my! What?
We should be doing the show live. $2.50 beers and $2.50 brats.
Why? Are you serious?
Absolutely, yeah.
Oh.
And for some reason, they're honoring Ryan Braun, who's there, which the guy shouldn't be allowed in the stadium.
I can't stand
what
that
he
guy.
Pulled. I think he succeeded. I was going to say try. He ruined that guy's life.
Correct.
That tester. I can't believe they got that. That's unfortunate. Get our NFL betting guide that's out now, and the college football guide drops August 5th. You want both. Sign up for the football special. Everything we have to offer across all sports through the Super Bowl, just $175. Every best bet, every host, every guest. Full access to the analytics, the tools, and the pro systems. It expires Thursday. VSiN.com/subscribe. Lock it in, $175 through the Super Bowl. What a deal.
All right, we'll tie in what Charch said yesterday about Mike Evans and what Baker Mayfield said this week about Emeka Egbuka next.
What's the guarantee?
Mike, time to make history. Players in Circa Million make 5 picks against the spread each week with quarterly and full season payouts.
Circa Survivor entries choose one team each week with no point spread. The last one standing wins it all.
We have $21 million on the line. Are you in? Visit circasports.com for details.
So, Paulie, have you had a chance to read the VSiN Daily yet?
Yeah. Came in at 3 a.m. What's Bill doing up that late?
Well, rumor has it, it starts off with a 12-hour meditation session.
Then he just pours himself over film and live TV, really focusing and taking it all in. Bill's in with the biggest insiders, talking trade secrets, strategies, the whole nine, absorbing the info.
And then and only then can the writing process begin.
In Las Vegas, Bill's late night becomes your early morning. Wake up to the very latest betting insights in your inbox with the VSiN Daily. Sign up for free at vsin.com/newsletter.
On the next Numbers game, Gil Alexander back from a beautiful beach vacation. We'll catch up with Gil on everything that he's been betting during his time off. NFL futures, probably plenty of tennis for us to discuss. We'll also hit on MLB best record and MLB home run leader, where things are getting a little tight. Also, we will talk to Wes Reynolds, catch up on golf. Paul Spohr joins us for his normal spot on Mondays to go through the baseball card. All that on the next Numbers game, 10 a.m. Eastern, 7 a.m. Pacific.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Good to have you on board here on a Friday. Coming up in 15 minutes, we'll talk Big Ten football as Pat Forde is going to join the program. He was in Vegas this week for Big Ten Media Days. We'll get his breakdown of the conference. On the show yesterday, Paul Charchian made an appearance, Fantasy Football Hall of Famer, and he made a strong case why he is not touching like a handful of players right now with their current average draft position. One of the players was Mike Evans for several reasons. If you missed it, you can go back and listen on the Follow the Money podcast, wherever you get your podcasts. He had great analysis. Evans has had an amazing career, right? Every single year in the league now for a decade, more than 1,000 yards, double-digit touchdowns in 6 of those seasons. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer, I think, without hesitation. You couple that with the Godwin injury from last year. Paulie, that ranks like in the top, 1% of gruesome injuries we've ever seen. I was reading some stuff and listening to some stuff yesterday on social media about Godwin. We don't even know if he's going to be ready for week 1. So there's all that out there, of course. And then Baker Mayfield, quarterback of the Buccaneers, made an appearance on the New Heights podcast with Jason and Travis Kelce. Good appearance. Baker's an awesome soundbite. And they got into basically the roster. They were talking about the draft pick of Emeka Egbuka, and Mayfield had some high praise with the rookie wide receiver.
And Emeka Egbuka is an absolute stud.
Ooh. Okay.
He's a real deal.
Yeah. What makes you say that?
Okay, you know how you just can't teach guys leaving the ground to catch the ball? He's always grounded when he catches it, keeps moving. There's yak potential out the wazoo there, but he's just so damn smart. I mean, he's willing to block, willing to do everything we ask him to do. But then, I mean, we can plug and play him at any of the 3 receiver spots right now. Yeah. It's pretty exciting.
Hell yeah. I mean, if he can go up and get a ball and he's smart, that I don't know what else you want in a receiver.
All right, so you can take that for what it's worth. Mayfield, any quarterback can say that about a rookie, wide receiver coming in. But high praise there. The video looks awesome so far of the kid. Had an amazing career at Ohio State. People were also making the case, even if Evans and Godwin do go for most of the season, let's not forget that Egbuka, when he was playing at Ohio State, Paulie, played with elite wide receivers, including Marvin Harrison, Smith. Is that gone? The Marlins with the guy almost robbed a home run.
What happened? Do you think
Wait, hold on. Now, they're going to say that that's not a home run because he brought it back in the park? And now it's going to be a triple?
Yeah, that's not a home run. What happened? Did he think he was he showboating that he caught it?
No, I think it was such a difficult play to make and now they're going to review it to see what happened here, but it was such a difficult play to make for the center fielder to go over the fence and Perkins and try to reel that one in. I think that's why he was trying to haul it back in and he dropped it. So I think he brought it back from being over the fence, and then when his glove was coming this way, he dropped it.
Yes.
That's an incredible play, unfortunately.
So it's a triple.
I think that's what they're going to call it here.
Yeah.
That was wild, man. By the way, for what it's worth,
I thought he caught it. That was an unbelievable catch if he comes down with that.
We'll get back to the Buccaneers here in 1 second. The Brewers were laying a very high number today against a really decent team here in the Marlins.
And the most profitable pitcher in all of baseball.
Oh, so he reaches the glove over the fence. It's going to be a home run. He catches it, but then the glove hits the top of the wall. Look at that. Oh, my God. And then he's bringing it back in. It drops out of his glove. The ball's bouncing on top of the wall, and it comes back in the park. What are they going to call here?
Got to make that play, Mitch.
Yeah. How does it come out of the glove?
That's unbelievable. So they're going to review.
This is going to take 5 minutes.
As I was going to say, though, about the price, most profitable pitcher in baseball, Quantrill, going for the Marlins. They're 11-8 in his starts. He's up 10 units.
Yeah. And they've been really good for 6 weeks now, probably?
I take Joe, push him to the side because he's out for the season. Detroit was 9-1 in his starts. Valdez, number 2. They're 15-5 when he starts, and then Gray. So Quantrill going today for the Marlins, and Freddie was over $2.
Yeah, big number there.
Okay.
So anyway, Egbuka put up great numbers in Ohio State in an offense littered with other phenomenal wide receivers. I do have one bet already in this market to win Offensive Rookie of the Year. It was on Tyler Shuck the day that Derek Carr, basically, we knew that he was going to retire, not come back to the Saints. I bet him at, I believe, 20-1. I added Egbuka last night, 50-1. That was at the Westgate here in town. For those of you in states with Circa, it was also 50. It looks like that's down to 45 to 1 now. He is lower at other books, but I thought at 50 to 1, when you tie in what's happened in like the last 6 to 10 years, now usually this is going to be a quarterback award. We get that. But I think there's an angle here where none of these quarterbacks really pop this year as rookies, including Cam Ward. Garrett Wilson won it 3 years ago. Jamar Chase won it the year before that. Now, I don't expect this kid to put up Chase numbers. He had basically a Randy Moss-type rookie year, 81 for 1455 and 13 touchdowns. However, if none of these quarterbacks are on a team that will win a ton of games or they don't put up good numbers, are you telling me that Ibuka can't put up what Wilson did 3 years ago when he played in all 17 games? He had 83 catches for 1,100 yards and 4 touchdowns. And I think in an offense this year in Tampa Bay that's going to be absolutely as good as it was a year ago.
It was ruled a double in the game. This is a great timing. It's a great list of candidates who's going to win this, but also good timing today. While I think Genty got robbed last year for the Heisman, the stuff that could go on with Hunter this year, and you can find him at 11 to 1. Today, Liam Cohen said that sometime during the first 6 practices, Hunter will work on both sides of the ball in the same practice. He doesn't want to rush him into it and overwhelm him. So if this guy's playing both ways, which would be the first time that's happened since 1962, a regular two-way player, and if he's doing anything offensively and what he can do, I mean, imagine if he has a couple interceptions. I mean, it's going to be like Ohtani stuff. Like it's going to be, oh, he had an interception. Oh, he caught a touchdown pass. I mean, and what they were doing last year at Colorado, where, okay, padding his stats is one thing, but it would lead like all the college football shows with the highlights. So you have a touchdown and a 40-point blowout. So that will be big with the odds movement and also the hype standpoint. If they win games, Charchian expects them to be the most improved offense, and he puts up good, doesn't have to be great, but good numbers and do something that hasn't been done since 1962. I think 11 to 1's a good bet.
No, I don't mind that at all. I think that can absolutely come in. I think you're absolutely spot on. This list is littered with great candidates. Now, I say that. Genty might run away with this award. He might come out and just put up a season and you're like, oh my God, he's going to be the best running back in football for the next 5 years. I can't bet plus 275 in July. No way, no how. Cam Ward plus 350 on a very bad football team. That's a hard pass for me. Hampton, there's no doubt an angle here because he's with Jim Harbaugh, with the LA Chargers, with the Najee Harris situation already, the injury there. So Hampton's down to plus 750. Much higher numbers were available on him weeks ago. So I missed that. Not going to bet right now. People are talking about McMillan in Carolina. I can see an angle there where he pops. I don't want Matthew Golden. Too many cooks in the kitchen there in Green Bay. R.J. Harvey's another one where it makes sense in Denver, as we talked about a little bit yesterday. Like that kid could have an unbelievable season. Like Caleb Johnson, another really good candidate in my mind. I think Scadaboo with the Giants at 100 to 1 is somebody that could pop. But I thought that at 50 to 1 on Emeka Egbuka, that was a number that was worth betting yesterday. When you get more information, people are coming out with analysis and opinions, and I have a very strong opinion on Tampa Bay already, and the thing that is a little awkward to me now is that I have 2 players on the Buccaneers to win an award. It's him for offensive rookie, and I have Bucky Irving at 67 to 1 to win offensive player of the year. Very unlikely both of them come in. I should say very unlikely that either one comes in because they're 50 and 67 to 1. Those are tough to cash.
What are they most points in the league? You have me intrigued. That offense could be something. Let me know. Yeah, look that one up. That's not bad. The $500 try from GBank First Bet and VSiN. Open a GBank Visa signature credit card in the first 90 days. Deposit and play through $1,000 at First Bet to trigger the $500 try. You get $200 in cash back rewards on your GBank Visa signature credit card. First Bet will give you a $100 deposit match, and VSiN completes it with a free 6-month subscription. The $500 try from GBank First Bet and VSiN. Head to VSiN.com/GBank. One-time promotion limited to customers opening a new account in response to this offer. Apply today. Terms and conditions apply. The GBank try.
What kind of number would you want to bet with the Buccaneers for most points scored?
What do you think? 25 to 1? 30 to 1?
They're 9-1 here at Circa.
9.
Yeah, I'm guessing that these numbers have been up for a minute, and other bettors have had the same idea, and I don't think they open at 9-1. Could be wrong.
Uh-huh.
I'm willing to bet they open up higher than that, and bettors just took the number. The Bills are 5-1 to lead the league in points. Eagles are plus 550. Baltimore is 7. Same thing with the Bengals. Those are low numbers, though, man.
Yeah.
All right, let's follow the money here.
Good market, though.
On VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. We'll talk Big Ten football. Pat Forde is going to join the program coming up next. Been in Vegas this week for Conference Media Days. How big is the drop-off at quarterback for the Oregon Ducks? We'll ask him next here on VSiN.
Season the sharp way with a VSiN Pro subscription. Right now, grab our football special for just $175. An early bird deal that gives you full VSiN access through the Super Bowl. That includes our NFL betting guide, loaded with team previews, power ratings, and season-long best bets. Plus, pro picks sent to your inbox daily, betting splits from DraftKings and Circa, live shows on the VSiN Watch app, and so much more. Don't wait. Sign up now at VSiN.com/subscribe and join us on the Sports Betting Network.
This is VSiN, the Sports Betting Network.
This is Follow the Money on VSiN.
Big Ten Media Days were this week out here in Las Vegas, and Pat Forde was in town covering. He is one of, if not the best, college football writers in the entire country. He was here with Sports Illustrated, and he is kind enough to join us now on the Progressive Guest Line. Pat, good afternoon. Thanks for the time today. How are you?
Hey, I'm doing well, guys. Enjoyed my time in your city. I'm sorry we didn't get to see each other face to face.
No worries. Things get out of hand once in a while, and obviously other obligations come into play. When you look at the top of the odds board to win this league, there is like one tier in it with three teams, Ohio State, Penn State, and Oregon, before you get a drop-off with Michigan at around 8-1 to win this thing. I want to begin with the Ducks because everybody's talking about Penn State and Ohio State, rightfully so. In your opinion, how big is the drop-off from Dillon Gabriel, who was like a really fantastic college quarterback for several years at multiple programs? How big is the drop-off here for the Ducks from Gabriel to Dante Moore?
That is the huge question because you're right. Dillon Gabriel probably a little bit underappreciated through his college career because it was long and very illustrious and very productive. And he did lead him to the Big Ten championship last year. Dante Moore, excellent athlete, probably a better like pro prospect kind of quarterback in terms of arm strength and everything else than Gabriel, and height, but got to prove it. Got to show it. Everybody loved him in high school. We just haven't seen enough to know. I think Will Stein's offensive coordinator is really good and will have a user-friendly system for him. And, Oregon has a lot of talent to put around him. Now, they did lose Evan Stewart, their receiver, to a summer injury, and he's likely not going to play this year. That's a big blow. But, there's certainly high hopes for Dante Moore, but like a lot of other quarterbacks going into this season, got to actually show he can do it.
Yep, totally agree with that. Mm-hmm. So what is your pecking order at the very top, by the way? Do you think this is the year for Penn State? Because overall, and I think most people think this, like their roster probably has the edge compared to Ohio State.
The most dangerous thing I could possibly say is, and I'm going to say it, I think Penn State can win the national championship.
Wow.
Which, given their history of not winning the big ones, and James Franklin's kind of tortured history in that respect, it's out on a limb a little bit, but if you look at the roster, you look at the experience, you look at the staff, this is the year to do it, especially, I think, vis-a-vis the competition out there. They did the same thing Michigan and Ohio State did, which was to retain a lot of very good, like fourth year, fifth year, kind of third year, fourth year kind of guys, keep them from going to the NFL where they would have been maybe second round, third round picks, get them back in school and build around that. And that's how those two teams won national championships in 23 and 24. And I think they followed that formula. They also picked up Jim Knowles, defensive coordinator from Ohio State. And we'll see if Drew Aller can take that next step. He's really talented. He's been productive. He just has a habit of making big mistakes in big spots. And if he can get over that, and he might, then I think they're the team to beat.
Very good. Mm-hmm. What was the feeling about USC and what they're going to look like, not only this year, but I thought about the future, because I thought when Riley took the job, they were going to dominate the Pac-12. Pac-12 goes away. Now they were a disaster last year, and now they're 25-1 to win the Big Ten this year.
Yeah, the Riley tenure has been so far a waste of money.
Yes.
He has not delivered, but that we'll see. They're recruiting extremely well for next year at the high school level. Like, they're killing it in the state of California, which they probably should have been doing the previous couple of years. So they're looking good from that standpoint. They do think that this roster is in good shape, that they're going to be better at the line of scrimmage on both sides. They like their coaching staff from that standpoint too. And, optimism always springs eternal at this point, but on paper, I think they should be a top 25 team. Certainly not a team, that struggles to win any games in the league. Last year they were quite bad on the road, and just a big disappointment. They should be better than that.
Okay. And what do you expect out of Indiana?
I think they're going to be good. I think if you look, they're, they lost some players, but they also retained some really good players. They might have the best defensive end in the country, or one of, in Mikhail Kamara. They've got an elite defensive back. They've got, I think, an upgrade at quarterback in Fernando Mendoza, who transferred from California. Curtis Rourke was good and good in that system, but he was totally immobile behind an average offensive line. And Mendoza can at least move. And if you don't have a sitting duck at quarterback, that just makes you so much more dangerous, I think, offensively. And they'll have that. So I think Indiana could be a playoff team again.
Wow.
Oh, strong. It's Follow the Money here on VSiN, the Sports Betting Network. Our guest, Pat Forde. You can follow him on X at @ByPatForde. Covers college sports for Sports Illustrated. Are you going to say the same thing about Michigan? Now, they finished strong last year. The quarterback play made them unwatchable for the most part. Are they going to be good enough at that position, do you think, to actually squeak into the playoffs?
I don't know. I would not say playoffs for Michigan. I still think that's at best, probably 15 to 25 team. They had a lot of really good defensive players still on that team last year, and they'll still have good defensive players, but not the level that they showed. I mean, they had a lot of guys drafted first, second round off that defense, and so I don't think they'll be as good there. Offensively, they can't be worse. Quarterback play has got to be better. It was absolutely atrocious. They were pretty cagey. Sharon Moore was pretty cagey about that with Bryce Underwood. He said, we have no starter. It's an open competition. So we'll see. Underwood's fantastically talented. He was, an early enrollee who went through spring, but how raw is he? How ready is he to step up and lead an offense? That's all TBD.
Okay. You've done not only a great job the past few weeks, but especially this week, highlighting this rivalry now, as it turns out, with the Big Ten and the SEC, where 3 times Franklin referred to the SEC as that other conference, and then the Big Ten saying we definitely deserve 4 auto bids, comparing it to the NFL with the grind and the depth and also the travel. What do you think now? Are we going to stay at 12 teams now and the SEC won't go to 9 league games? What do you think happens?
It is interesting. And James Franklin, I was, listening to him, I was like, he's purposefully not saying SEC. And, I wrote about it. Not only saw Greg Sankey on Twitter put out something that said, welcome to that other conference. And had like the SEC logo, but it said TOC instead of SEC. Mm-hmm. So I think Sankey's leaning into this a little bit. Like, fine, you guys want to chirp? We'll chirp with you, and then we'll see who wins on the field. It's fascinating. The Big Ten came out rhetorically swinging and in unison, basically, with the coaches. First of all praising Tony Petitti like this sounded like Pyongyang, North Korea to a degree, like, dear leader, but then beyond that, really like going to bat for the 4 automatic bids, and that's what we need, and that's the way this should be run. And it was just kind of an endless chorus of that. And I do think, to your point, Paulie, that I think both sides are pretty dug in at this point. I would not be surprised at all if it leads to an impasse and we play a 12-game playoff in 2026 as well.
Are you buying the Illini hype?
Kinda, yeah. I mean, I'm a big Brett Bielema fan. I think he's an excellent coach. He's not just entertaining to listen to, but he really is a good coach. And, I think he just has progressively gotten more comfortable in his skin there at Illinois and in that position. And he's built a really solid team. It's got a 3rd-year starting quarterback, just like Penn State does, just like Clemson does. And they've got good players around him. I think they're, if you want to go through a pecking order, and part of this is dependent upon schedule, but I would say Penn State, Ohio State, and then I actually think Oregon, Indiana probably, and then Illinois. So top 5. I don't know that, do you make a playoff at 5? Probably not, but I think they should be right in the mix. And the Indiana schedule, too, is a big factor in their favor. They're going to put up a good record again, and then we'll have the same argument we had last year, whether they're really any good.
Yeah, I think that's probably spot on. Pat, love talking to you. Thanks for popping on and catching up today. We appreciate that. Enjoy the summer. We'll talk down the road, okay?
Yeah. Sounds good, guys. Thank you.
Be good. There you go. Pat Forde on X at @ByPatForde for Sports Illustrated. Let me give you this. Wisconsin plays. Have you looked at their schedule? Do you have it memorized?
No.
At Bama, at Michigan, at Oregon, at Indiana. They host Iowa, the Buckeyes, Washington, and Illinois.
Oh, boy.
So if they go...
I thought he was going to crush it there.
So did I.
I like
But
Fickle.
they've had at least 2 years in a row now of, I'm not going to call it an impossible schedule, but a very difficult schedule. If he's 3-9 this year for an 8,
yeah.
Do you say we still got to stick with him and give him more time?
Well, they changed coordinators already, right?
Yeah.
They did, yeah. That offensive system didn't work out either. I believe Bila met his wife at the blackjack table in Las Vegas.
I think you're right.
That story.
Yeah.
But
she blocked me on Twitter many years ago.
Oh, wow. Breaking news. I have their back, though. I'm not going to go crazy with 4 auto bids. Everyone's got to play 9 league games.
Totally agree.
They're totally right on that.
Win, lose up next. We'll discuss odds to lead the league in INTs coming up on VSiN.
As sports fans, we may cheer for different teams, but there's one thing that we can all agree on. We want the game to be big. And with 3 levels, 30 cabanas, a 143-foot screen, 6 clean pools, and endless cold drinks, it doesn't get any bigger or any better than Stadium Swim in Las Vegas. All sports, all seasons, it's more than a pool deck. Stadium Swim is the only thing like it in the world.
Elevate your sports betting game with VSiN's exclusive betting splits. Stay ahead with real-time market trends and track bet percentages on any matchup. Then uncover the edge by comparing them to the amount of bets placed to find out where the sharp money is headed. Upgrade to VSiN Pro to access betting splits, live odds, line moves, power ratings, and in-depth game analysis. Go to VSiN.com/pro to join VSiN, the sports betting network.
Win Some, Lose Some is sponsored by the Sharp Plays. Were you a winner last night?
Wow, winning.
Or was it a rough one?
Well, they can't all be winners, can they?
Loser! You're a loser!
Molly Howard recaps the night in sports betting in Win Some, Lose Some.
WNBA, Sparks Mystics over 166 up to 169.5. Flew over. LA was great, 101 points. Plum had 30 and a ton of threes. She was excellent. No Angel Reese. Didn't play. Storm. They are awful without her.
Oh, yeah.
From 6 up to 11 and a 7-point move in the total, and the sky got me again. They had an 8-point quarter. Seattle scores 95 points, and we can't get over.
Yep.
Because Chicago gets 57. An 8-point quarter. Oh, my aching ass.
But here's the thing, Paulie. That's commonplace in this sport. And that's why you got to be careful with this stuff. Because you will watch a 4, a 6, a 7-point quarter a lot.
Yeah, first quarter was great. High scoring, and then it's just, they had like a 13-point quarter and an 8-point quarter. Absolutely. A's plus 130 on the money line. You know, Houston's only 2 games over 500 against the division. And how about this? Are you aware of this? The opponent has scored 15 games in a row against the Astros. How nutty is that? Longest since 87. Orioles.
What do you mean?
The Astros have trailed 1-0 15 games in a row.
Oh, I'm sorry. So the opponent has scored first.
Conceded, however you want to say it. Conceded,
okay.
Yeah. They've conceded first 15 games in a row.
What's the record, I wonder, in those 15 games?
Good point.
Because they've been actually hot.
Yeah.
Kind of hot anyway.
Yeah. I can't believe it happened in 87. Orioles 19 in a row. So that's in play again tonight. And the Mariners plus 125. They get it done. Subscribe, be part of the team. VSiN.com, our radio and podcast friends. You always want to see these tweets and videos at Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Thanks to our new friend Karen, who does a great job and sends them in every day. Karen, Mark, Winky Dunk, Dan, everyone, Chris.
What is this, a pet bear?
The bear comes in your pool. Go ahead, sure. Bear just jumps in the pool, and it's like, all right, go for a swim. What am I going to do? And they open up got Cubs involved and everything. Right? Oh, they let him in. Oh, okay.
Trying to break into the house.
Him, right, yeah.
So he's been...
Shows up on a regular basis.
I think the caption there said that the same bear has been coming back. Now you have multiple there, too.
Yeah, right. There's the big fella, yeah.
When they were smaller cubs, and boom, here we are.
Wow. That is excellent.
I find that fascinating. Like every year up in Lake Tahoe, bears will go into the lake with like hundreds of people there. Tourists just on the beach checking it out. Here comes like mama bear with 3 cubs, and they're like, yeah, time for us to hop in because it's 88 degrees out today, and we're, sweating our what's off.
The one part of the video where he jumps up on the screen door, right? And he wants in or says hello. Incredible. And he's a little fella. But then it's just, okay. The whole family comes on in, playing with the toys, the wraps, jump on in. That's a cannonball, right? That's a serious cannonball. Excellent. Here's the cub, right? And the sprinkler. They're all there. We got 3 bear videos today. Incredible. Here's the cub just jumping in. Yeah, can't get enough of the sprinkler. Putting his whole face in there, going for a run, back up the tree, going back, sprinklers everywhere, getting cooled off. Yeah, got to do it just like Tahoe. And then also we got a new, how about the bear? You imagine, see this? You got the bear on a trampoline. How does that thing not break? Look at that. Imagine you wake up or you check your Ring camera and you see that thing. Just jumps on.
That is a big boy.
Yeah, yes. How would he know how to do that? He jumps up and he get a little exercise, a little cardio, feeling good. That's beautiful. Oh, I can't beat it. Should I name him on air? We have a lead. Lose some. We have a leader in the clubhouse now for the most outrageous ATM fee. Should I name it or no?
Ooh.
Not name it? I'll wait.
I'll lean towards not naming on air, but it's up to you.
Should we leave it up to the viewers?
Well, they're going to say yes 100%,
okay.
But...
I was there the other day. Go to $11.50. Non-strip club. This is the biggest ATM fee I've ever seen non-strip club.
I recently had $11.99.
You did it where? Casino?
I think it was out here at a casino, yeah.
Oh, okay. I stand correct. I thought $11.50 was the highest. It was $11.50.
At a casino?
Yeah, I thought that was the leader. You can top that.
Yeah, I had $11.99 recently. And, yeah, I think it was out here in town. Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Isn't that fun?
That's outrageous.
To get
that is
your
absolute
money,
extortion.
Your hard-earned money out of the bank that you're trying to be safe with. I need a little bit here, right? Oh, by the way, we're going to ding you for $11.99 on top of it. What?
gun and a ski mask.
Yeah, I mean, that's Polad. That's your guy.
Not my guy.
Right, from Minnesota, the owner of the Twins.
Yeah.
The longtime owner, anyway.
Huh?
It was him, right? He created the idea?
That's what the sports pig used to always say. Ray, rest in peace.
Well, I'll go with it and pretend that he's right with that.
That son of a gun invented fees, and he complains about payroll. And look at
that's like straight to prison.
Yeah.
Come on.
Yeah. Look at this one. The bulldog here trying to get it done. Jump from the chair to the couch. A long journey. And he just can't. He goes lays down half and half. He goes half and half. Where it's come on.
Turns it into a bridge?
Yeah, the struggle of the English bulldog. He turns it into the bridge. Look at him with the paw. Buddy, it's not that far. Just jump.
Oh my God.
Come on, jump. You can do it. It's not far. He's a little scared. Can't do it.
Well, first of all, am I looking at Game of Thrones, the final season? I can barely see it. It's so dark.
Yeah, right. That's true. Yeah, he gives up.
That's lazy.
I'm not going to do it.
Wow.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, we'll put those up later. Paulie Does Vegas on Instagram. Good mix as always. Strong. For the line moves, sharp plays already there. They don't follow the market. They help shape it. You're not going to outsmart billion-dollar books of full-time sharps all by yourself. With the sharp plays, you don't have to. Backed by advanced AI, connected to trusted insider sources. They deliver the kind of edge serious bettors count on every day. Free reports, real-time alerts, market-moving insights straight to your inbox or X-feed. Isn't some side hustle. They've been doing it since 2011. Documented results, public logs, transparent receipts. SharpPlays.com, trusted by pros, watched by the books. Visit SharpPlays.com. Stay ahead of the line. So I remember last year, Brad Powers tweeted this about how at times lackadaisical Cam Ward plays. And he said some of those sideline passes are begging to get picked and returned for a touchdown. So Will Hill Caesars has this. I don't know how many places have it, but I know I got it at Will Hill today. How about Cam Ward, rookie, you're going to struggle, baptism by fire.
Probably going to play the entire year.
Right. And I also took Sam Darnold, both 10-1 to lead the league in interceptions. Darnold has been awful and a major disappointment other than what happened last year, but most people are giving O'Connell credit for that, and rightfully so. And then we saw Darnold turn into a pumpkin at the end of last year and how it ended. I could see Darnold struggling again, turning it over. But I think the Cam Ward one, also at 10-1, is pretty good. What you said as well, take your lumps. We're going to keep you in there. And could be much like Peyton Manning.
Sure.
When I think they went 3-13 and he led the league in interceptions.
Yeah, how many times do we see a rookie quarterback come in, number 1 overall or first round, go to a bad team, but they get the keys, man. They have the keys to the car the entire year because he's going to be the franchise guy. And so despite maybe only winning 4 or 5 games, whatever that might be, he's going to play the entire time, go through the growing pains, and probably put up a lot of INTs. Darnold's a good one. Last year, he had 12 INTs. He was tied with a ton of other quarterbacks with 12. But those quarterbacks that tied with 12, they were behind Geno Smith, who had 15. Baker Mayfield and Kirk Cousins each had 16. So when you look at Pro Football Focus and turnover-worthy plays and turnover-worthy play percentage, Darnold led the league, Paulie, last year at quarterback with 27 turnover-worthy plays. One of the highest percentages as well. Cousins did lead in percentage.
Good. Yeah.
I can't believe who was number 2 on the list in terms of turnover-worthy plays last year. Matthew Stafford with 25.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
And I'm looking right now at Circa. He's 21-1 to lead the league in INTs this year. Ward here is 11-1. Prescott is 16-1. And obviously,
I don't hate that.
Neither do I.
Yeah.
Dak Prescott he's thrown, quite a few overall. I'm looking. I got to go back and look at I qualified it for too many attempts. I got to go back and break that down. But Drake May also 3.5% turnover-worthy play percentage last year. That was one of the highest in the entire league. Trevor Lawrence is 18-1. He's going to be throwing the ball a lot this year. He's got the weapons.
2 years ago, didn't he do it?
I think he was right there.
I thought he did it 2 years ago. Yeah.
Yep.
I could. Yeah, that's not bad either.
And Geno to threaten or make a run at it this year is 17-1 here. That's another guy, right? He's playing the entire year.
Yeah, good market. Mm-hmm. How strange is the Wilkins story? I can't believe that. I mean, they're going to be fighting in court with that, and they go into arbitration and all that stuff. I mean, they're going to say, hey, we owe you $30 million guaranteed. Go kick rocks.
Mm-hmm.
They want him to rehab. Or excuse me, they want him to get surgery. He wanted to rehab, and then they said he wasn't taking rehab seriously, and then they cut him.
Yep.
And the Patriots might be interested in him. But then it's like, well, what's the foot look like then?
Mm-hmm. College football again coming up next. Adam Rittenberg's going to join us from ESPN. Did he find any optimism for Lincoln Riley and USC when he was out here for Big Ten Media Days in Las Vegas?
Introducing the $500 trifecta. Use your GBank Visa signature credit card within 3 months of account opening and